Hello and welcome friend. In this tutorial we will try to look at two commands. One is stop and the other is PS, process status. And these two commands will come handy while debugging a shell script. Maybe sometimes your script is written in some bad ways, it consumes too much CPU, or maybe something is consuming more CPU and you want to debug your system. So that comes very handy. So there is this command top. So by default, when you run the top command, it will not return you the prompt back and it keeps on continuously running. It's like Windows Task Manager. If you want to come out of this top command, if you press enter, it will not come out. So what you have to press is Q. Q means come out, quit. So let's run it again. If you look at the top command, the first few lines, 4 5 lines, it will give you some system details and then it will give you the individual process details. So it will say you uptime for how many days and hours the system is up, how many users are there, and then there is the concept of load average. Load average is average calculated over a period of time and says how much your system is busy, and then how many tasks are running, sleeping, stop, zombie. You might have to read some of those concepts. Then here is interesting field called percentage CPU. Right now it's like 3.8, 5.8. It's less. Suppose this percentage CPU goes to 70%, 80%, and the system becomes consistently very busy and it will be low in performance. Then this is a memory. I have approximately 3 GB of memory, and this is a swap space. So this is my swap space, like approximately 4 GB, and how much is the free, how much I am using, and how much is the available. Now the next sections in this top command will give you PID. PID is process identifier. Each process which runs in the system will have a unique identifier. It's like to identify the process uniquely. You can refer from the kernel perspective, from the user's perspective. You can kill. It's kind of a name, but not exactly name. Name is binded to the process ID, but process ID is a unique identifier. Now you see here, this is a PID. Then who is running those processes? Users. Then there is a priority field, then virtual memory, couple of other fields, how much shared memory, resident memory, and then for individual process like console process is consuming 1.7 percentage CPU, it is taking like 2.1 percentage of memory, which is this memory, and time and commands. So this is the way you run it. Now sometimes what happens is you are debugging something, you want to get a trace log, and you want to get the output of top in your script, or maybe from your script you run top. But if you run from your script the top command, it will just hang there. So top has an option called batch mode in -b, and you can give how many iterations you want to do. So top keeps on running, so you can give the iteration. One means only run only once, two means run 2 times and gives the output, and batch mode means it will not hang the way we were seeing it, that it will not block the console, it will just relieve it. So now if you run here, you see I got my prompt back, which means top command ran, executed, and prompt. So this way I can take it output to some file.txt and I can see the output later on. So you can use top in this way to get an output to a script for debugging. The other command is called PS, process status, another very interesting and very important command. So by default when you run PS, there's an option called EF, which means that you show all the process in the system. And let's pipe it to more. I want to see one page at a time because there are many more options, many pages to display. So in the process, the first field is UID, which is a user identification, which means which user is running these processes, and this is root. So if you keep on going down, there might be other users which is running this process. So let's go back again. And then for this process, what is the PID? This is my init process, which will always have the PID 1. This is my parent process ID, TTY, time, and what is the exact command it is running. Now if you see here, this field is limited, it can go up to this much width. So sometimes the command is very big and it might not show all the options. So in PS there is an options called as PS AUX WWW. You have to remember this. And if you run this, it will show you more details and exact command line options which you use to run this particular command. So PS will be very handy. So by default, if you see here, PS has those three fields: PID. So, and mind it, for each PS options, your heading and everything will change. So there's a lot of formatting options which you can use with PS. You can go through the man page for PS. It's not possible to show you all the details because PS has probably more options, much more options than all the combined commands put together in Windows. It has that many options. So let's see, if PS you run it with -EF, you will see that UID, PID and PPID, those are the three fields. If you run PS with -ELF, E and L caps, this L means you show all the threads. Then you will see that there is that UID, PID, PPID, and then there is the LWP, which is a lightweight process. In Linux, threads are called as lightweight process. So it will tell you the thread identifier also. So that way you can run PS. So you have to practice PS and top, and if you have some doubts, probably do Google search in the forum, look into the man page. But I'm pretty sure those two commands, if you are making a career in Unix or Linux, top and PS will help you a lot for debugging, knowing where the problem in the system is and those kind of things. So thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. You have a nice time. Bye.